Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Phil. Today we are going to take a look at the entire lineup of 2023 Honda motorcycles. Let's go. Alright, so interesting thing to note with the 2023 lineup, there are quite a few of the motorcycles that don't show up with 2023 models. This doesn't appear to necessarily mean that they're permanently discontinued. As an example of that, the Honda Fury does not have a 2021 model. They have a 2020 model, and then they brought it back in 2022, and they don't have it in 2023. So I don't know if there are some models that they just don't put out every year, or what they do with that. Either that or they discontinued it and then changed their mind and brought it back. I'm not sure. Anyway, this video we're going to be just taking a look at the models listed with 2023 models, and we'll let you know which ones are no longer available for the 2023 lineup. So they may come back, they may not, we don't know. And as an appropriate beginning with that example, we start with the two Montesa trial bikes, of which neither of them have 2023 models. Both of them have been either permanently or temporarily discontinued. As with any of the bikes, you can still buy 2022 models, so they're still available, it's just they don't have 2023 updates. Alright, so first we start at the bottom of the list, so to speak, with the off-road motocross bikes. We start with the CRF 150R and the CRF 150R Expert. These are 150cc single-cylinder bikes, 5-speed, 32.8-inch seat height, 185-pound, 1.1 gallon tank, starting at $5,300. The Expert has a 34.1-inch seat height because of the higher ground clearance, starting at $5,500. So an extra $200 for that extra about 1.5 inches of seat height. Alright, moving on up to the CRF 250R, 250cc single cylinder engine, 5-speed, 37.8-inch seat height, 229-pound weight, 1.7 gallon tank, starting at $8,200. Now there are 4 different models based on the 450cc engine for the off-road bike. We have the CRF 450R-S, the CRF 450R, the CRF 450R 50th Anniversary Edition, and the CRF 450RWE. And I've got pictures of each of these. They all have a 450cc single cylinder, 5-speed, 38-inch seat height, somewhere around the 245 to 250 pounds, 1.7 gallon tank, and starting at $8,800 and going all the way up to $12,400 depending on which of the models you're interested in. One of the things I was a little disappointed about with the Honda website is that there are no indication for horsepower or torque on the website on any of their bikes. Even when you get up into the cruisers or anything like that, all they have is the cubic centimeter size of the engine, nothing for torque or horsepower at all. I did not take the time to go look at that on other sites. I'm sure you can find that information on other websites or through Google, but I did not take the time to look at that just based on the tremendous number of bikes that they have and the amount of time that would take. So anyway, that's it for the off-road motocross bikes. So there's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different models there. Alright, now we go to the trail bikes. And again, off-road bikes. We start with the youth versions. We have the CRF 50F, 50cc single-cylinder 3-speed engine, 21.6 inch seat height, 111 pounds, 0.7 gallon tank, starting at $1,700. We move up to the CRF 110F with 110cc single cylinder, 4-speed, 25.9 inch seat height, 169 pound, 1 gallon tank, starting at $2,600. Alright, then we move up to the CRF 125F and 125F big wheel. So the 125F, well, both of them, you have a 125cc single cylinder engine with 4-speed. The 125F has a 29.1 inch seat height. They both weigh about 195 pounds, 1 gallon tank. The 125F is $3,400 as a starting price. The big wheel has a 30.9 inch seat height. It has a 19 inch front wheel on it, and that one starts at $3,800. Alright, so we go on to the CRF 250F and the 250RX. The RX is a 250cc single cylinder engine. Well, they both are. Both 5-speed. The RX has a 38 inch seat height, is 238 pounds, 2.1 gallon tank, and starts at $8,600. That is actually the upgrade version for the CRF 250 trail bike that has a higher seat height, has a lower weight, and a higher price point. So that's the 250RX. The 250F has a 34.8 inch seat height, 265 pounds, and a 1.6 gallon tank instead of a 2.1, and it starts at $4,900. So those are the two different models with the 250s, the CRF 250F and the CRF 250RX. Alright, now up to the 450 engine size, we have the CRF 450X and the CRF 450RX as well. So starting at the lower one this time, we have the 450X, which is a 450cc single cylinder, 6-speed engine, 38 inch seat height, 275 pounds, 2 gallon tank, starting at $9,800. The RX is a 5-speed, is 24 pounds lighter, and $200 more, rounding off, starting at $10,000 even. So that's it for the trail bikes. And now I'm not going to mention too much about the scooters. They have 4 options, I think. They have a couple 50cc and a couple 150cc options, ranging from $2,600 to $4,350. Alright, so moving on to the dual sports. Dual sports, they only have one model with a 2023 model. All the rest of them do not have 2023 models. So the CRF 300L, the 300L Rally, the XR650L do not have 2023 models. The only one that does is the CRF 450RL. This is a 450cc single cylinder, 6-speed, 37.2 inch seat height, 291 pounds, 2 gallon tank, starting at $10,000 even. Moving on to the adventure bikes. Again, we have the CB500X and the Africa Twin models. Both of the African Twin models do not have 2023 models out available at this point. The only 2023 model is the NC750X DCT. So 745cc parallel twin engine, 6-speed auto DCT transmission, no clutch, 31.6 inch seat height, 493 pounds, 3.8 gallon tank, and $9,400. And that is the only adventure bike. So they only have one dual sport and only one adventure on the 2023 lineup. Then we go to a little bit of fun around town. We have the mini motos. Alright, so they took out the Trail 125 and the Navi for 2023, and they left 3, the Super Cub 125, the Monkey, and the Grom. They're all 125cc. The Super Cub is more of a scooter. It's a 4-speed automatic. The Monkey and the Grom are both 5-speed, both about 30-inch seat height, 1.5 gallon tank in the 220 to 230 pounds, and the Monkey is 4250. The Grom is 3500. Frankly, I would love to try one of these. They seem like a lot of fun, even though they have a tall seat height. I came close to renting one at one point in time, and it just didn't work out for the timing of it. But I don't know, I might try again some point in time in the future, because it seems like a lot of fun to just kind of tool around town or around the neighborhood or something. Alright, so moving on to the sport models. Of the 10 sport models, 7 got scratched for 2023, and there's only 3 left. So, discontinued for 2023, CBR 300R, CB 500F, CBR 500R, CB 650R, CBR 650R, CB 1000R, CBR 1000, RR-R. There's a lot of R's. Alright, all of those have 2022 only models. Okay, so the 3 that are left, we have a CB 300R, which is a naked bike, 286cc, 6-speed, 31.6-inch seat height, 316 pounds, 2.6 gallon tank, $5,050 to start. And then we have 2 super sport bikes. We have a CBR 600RR, which is the 600cc inline-4 engine, 6-speed, 32.3-inch seat height, 4.8 gallon tank, 410 pounds, 12,100. And the CBR 1000RR Super Sport, 998cc inline-4, 6-speed, 32.8-inch seat height, 4.3 gallon tank. I find that interesting. It actually has a smaller tank than the 600. I wonder why that is. And 432 pounds, 16,600. Maybe because it was already heavier and they were just trying to trim the weight. I don't know. But that's just weird to me. Alright. Moving on to the cruisers. So the only cruiser that didn't make the cut for 2023 is the Fury Chopper style. Alright, so then we start off with the Rebel 300, which is a 286cc single-cylinder, 6-speed, 27.2-inch seat height, 3-gallon tank, 364 pounds, and starting at $4,750 or $5,050 for the ABS version. The Rebel 500, 471cc single-cylinder, 6-speed, 27.2-inch seat height, 3-gallon tank, 408 pounds, starting at, there's actually 3 different versions. The first one is the regular Rebel 500 is $6,450, and then $6,750, and then $6,950. And I believe that is for the ABS, and then the SE, I believe it is the last one. I don't have that in front of me, but I believe that's what it is. Alright, so just a quick aside, the Rebel 300 and 500 are very popular beginning bikes. They're very good for getting comfortable, learning, and stuff like that. They certainly have enough power for going around town, for doing some back road stuff like that. My personal opinion is that even though they are good beginner bikes or learning bikes, they're probably the kind of bike that you'll outgrow fairly quickly. Certainly I outgrew my 800, my Kawasaki 800, fairly quickly, and that was even more powerful than these. So, good beginner bikes, not at all expensive as far as that goes, good price point on them, but definitely something that's a stepping stone to something bigger. Another note, these Rebels are very much a sport cruiser in their styling. They're not the kind of low, long and low cruisers that you see with like the Indian Scout or the Phantom that we're going to talk about here shortly. The Rebel is definitely a much more sporty version of a cruiser. Moving on, we get the Rebel 1100, which is the one I think they introduced a year or two ago, fairly new. 1083cc parallel twin, 6-speed, 27.5-inch seat height, 3.6 gallon tank, 487 pounds. And the regular 1100 starts at $9,500 and $10,100 for the DCT version, which they give you an automatic transmission version on that for the Rebel 1100. And now for the one new bike that they introduced for 2023, the all-new 1100T DCT. So this only comes in a automatic transmission model, the DCT. This is an 1100T. T stands for touring, where they have included hard saddlebags and a full fairing on the front on the 1100 frame and engine. So that basically added about 40 pounds or so. It's now 524 pounds and starting at 11,300. So the 1100T is actually one I would be interested in as a possibility for a bike. I've heard some mixed reviews on the seat on that. I'm guessing you'd probably need some sort of seat upgrade if you're going to do a lot of long distance touring. But the 1100, the Rebel bikes are especially the 1100, having built-in cruise, riding modes, ABS, automatically included. Great bike, a lot of features for that price point. I mean, $11,300 for a full a touring bike with a full front fairing and hard saddlebags is an amazing price point. Very, very competitive. All right, so moving to the kind of the bit more of the old school, more traditional cruisers, we have the Shadow Phantom, which and the Shadow Arrow. So two different versions of basically the same bike, both of them 745cc V-twin, 5 speeds, 25.9-inch seat height, 3.7 gallon tank, ranging from 550 to 560 pounds, depending on which one. The Shadow Arrow is $7,800 to start, and the Shadow Phantom is $8,000 to start, which is a phenomenal price for a traditional cruiser. These are both spoked wheels. I actually came very close to buying a Shadow Phantom as my first bike when I bought the Kawasaki. I actually kind of sort of wished I had bought that Shadow Phantom, but it was about $1,000 more than what the Kawasaki was. So anyway, and I went to a dealer and sat on it and wanted to start the engine up, and they couldn't get it started because they hadn't charged the battery over the winter, so they lost that sale. But hey, whatever. Anyway, great bikes. Obviously, they're not super high powered. They're great cruisers. I personally find that they would be good for around town and short rides and stuff like that. I don't know that I would want them for an all-day ride or anything like that, but other people have done it, I'm sure. All right, so now moving into the large touring section. Of course, the only thing we have there is the Goldwing. Now, the Goldwing now comes in 4 different versions. I don't think any of them are new for 2023, but there are 4 different versions of the Goldwing. All of them are 1833cc engines. All of them have the ability to go in reverse because they're so heavy. And so there are 3 of them that have the DCT automatic transmission on them. And those DCT versions have a walking mode on them. The 3 that have the automatic DCT are 7-speed transmissions. And they all have about between 29 and 30-inch seat height, 5.5 gallon tank. The low one, which is just the Goldwing Basic Auto DCT, is 800 pounds and is $25,600 new. The Goldwing Touring Basic version, which is the only manual option, which is a 6-speed manual. It has a tour pack on the back, and it gives you 145 pounds, and it starts at $28,600. Moving up to the Goldwing Tour Auto DCT, which is the same thing as the Goldwing Tour, has a tour pack, but now it's the DCT 7-speed automatic transmission for $29,600, only $1,000 more. And then lastly, we have the Goldwing Tour with automatic with an airbag. We have a 853 pound, and that airbag's going to cost almost $3,000 at $32,900. So that's it for the Goldwings, and that is actually it for the Hondas as far as available motorcycles with 2023 models. Hopefully this has been informative. As far as the ones I would like to try, I'm always open to trying a trail or like an adventure. I'd kind of like to try a dual sport or an adventure, maybe the NC 750. Again, these bikes tend to have a little bit higher seat height than I'm really wanting to, but I wouldn't mind trying them just to see what they're like. And of course, the Monkey or the Grom would be fun to ride around. Other than that, I'd like to try the Rebel 1100. I'm interested in trying the DCT just to see what that's like. I've heard it's difficult to do, especially with the Goldwing, that it's difficult to do slow speed maneuvers with. I've heard that the Goldwing DCT is one of the hardest to do, like a nice tight figure eight and things like that. Because of the DCT, you don't have the clutch to be able to get yourself into the friction zone. So that's what I've heard. I don't know, but it would be interesting to try. I'd like to try the 1100 Touring for sure. Would be the one I would like to try. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I appreciate you listening and watching, and I'm going to continue doing these model lineups, and we're going to see what comes next. Catch you all later.